everyone, this is Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. What do I have on my desk today? A little something I wanted to show you. I got this from another creator. I always like pen holders, so when I put them on like my journals, my composition books and stuff, I always do a nice pen that matches it. So I'm always looking for new ideas, and I thought this one was pretty cool. The creator is Suzanne in Ohio. I will link the video where she showed me how to do this in the description box. This is the size that she did. And although I love it and it's cool and it definitely, you know, will fit on your journals, I needed something a little bit smaller because if I want to use it for, say, my Alice journal, as you can see, I have my Alice journal out, then it just didn't take up the big bulky space. But yeah, I thought these were really cool and I wanted to make one for my journal. So this one is not particularly for this journal because as I was searching for something else, I had come across Stamperia, an Alice in Wonderland paper pack, and I thought, oh, I forgot I'd even gotten that. And I made it so I could sell it at my craft show. And I think I've showed this already in another video. But anyway, I wanted something a little less intrusive than this big one. So, yeah. So I did this size. And it's awesome, and there you go. Now they've got the pencil, and it's not going to fall out because this has the hook. This might not look very tight enough, but it's got the hook on it. Now if you did something that didn't have the little hook there, you probably have to do a tighter version. Anyway, moving forward, I'm going to show you how Suzanne did it and how I ended up cutting it down to a smaller version. So this is the large one, and these are the measurements. I'm not sure if she gave them in a written form in her video, but I thought I would. So here is my large, and then here's the insert, which we're going to get to. And then for this one, I would have used 2 of the big paper clips. But I shrunk it down. So basically what I did was I just took her same measurements and then shrunk it down a little bit. So turning this over, we have a small version. So here you can see the measurements, and here are my pieces, and with this I used 2 small paper clips. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scoreboard. This smaller piece is going to get scored at, it's not the one I started with, but it's going to get scored at, let's see, insert, I scored it at 1 7/8. So just before the 2, 1 7/8. And you're just gonna fold that, crease it down pretty good, and set that aside. Okay. Then I'm going to take my long side, and I know a lot of people score this way, but this way is just more comfortable for me to drag. So I'm going to take my 5 3/4 by 2 cardstock, and at the short side, I am going to score, which this is basically the short side. I'm going to score at 2. And then 3 3/4. And then in my notes, I have turn over and score in between the first score line, between the first, I meant to put second score line. You're going to score at every 1/8 of an inch. So every 1/8 inch. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take this on the long side, which I consider, you know, this is my long side. And we are going to score each side at 1/4. Now on the bigger one, she did a 1/2 inch for the smaller one, and it might have just been easier for her to work with. But on the smaller one, I was like, I can glue that down at 1/4 inch, and I think it's still just going to be just as sturdy. All right. Wait a minute, did I get that right? I thought that looked awful long. So let me go ahead. This was the piece I was supposed to be using. So I'm going to get that done up. I guess you just get to see it twice. So we're going to score at 2, 3 3/4 and 1/8 of an inch in between. Thought that looked awful long. That's what you get for having too much stuff sitting on your desk. Oh, I forgot to turn it over, but who cares? All right. Now I'm going to score at that 1/4 inch and that 1/4 inch. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these outer edges. I'm going to fold them in, and I'm going to fold that side in. And then this one, I'll start working it, but first of all, I'm just going to fold my edges and get those glued down. Now with this, I'm using art glitter glue because I think it will stick a lot better than just like a glue stick. So I'm going to get that. Oh, and I'm going to take off a little bit of the corners just so you don't see them. Okay. So I'm going to be doing, hopefully, I'm going to be doing Amanda's 8x8 photo. Well, I don't know if it's just a photo album, but it is using the 8x8 Alice kit that she's created, and she's made like a whole really cool album. I just haven't really had time to sit down. I've watched her videos, but I just haven't had time to sit down and try to work it out. Just been too busy. So I'm going to clip them edges again, lest I forget, which is not a tragedy if you do. Just roll with it. All right, so I'm going to get that glued down. Okay, now get that on here. And then, of course, I don't think this is right either. Score, let's see, insert is, nope, because I have it at 2 instead of 1 7/8 by 3 3/4. I have my 3 3/4 right, but I don't have my 1, and it shouldn't even be 1 7/8. It should be 1 and a little less than a half. So I'll have to fix that. I have to make adjustments along the way, so it should be 1 and a half. So when I say a little less than that, since this is 1 1/2, we want to make this just a slightly smaller than that. So here's 1 1/2, and literally like not even almost like a 1/16 in between the 1/16 and the half, because you want, this is going to end up going in here, and you want it to come out to your edges. Okay. So yeah, change your measurement on that if you took a snapshot of that. All right. So now we're going to get those pieces bent down in the middle there. And then the most important part, the first one I made of this, was I forgot to put my paper clips in. So I had to rip that apart and start over. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our paper clips in. And I thought this was kind of a neat idea that she did. that I had never thought about. I've seen some people like put paper in between them. Let me see if I have a strip. Like they put them in between here and ran a thin strip through so that you couldn't pull those papers out and glued them down. But she used tape. And you don't necessarily need 2 paper clips. I thought it would be better because it would hold your sides down from, you know, kind of doing a fan thing, like fanning out. And then we're just going to take some of this score tape and we're going to put it right across there. Get that down. And I'll tuck that in as after I get it peeled up because you don't want that over the edge. All right, then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. And the most important part is you don't want to glue any of this down. So then I'm going to take this, and this is going to fit. I'll get it straight. Oh, it's a little bit wonky. Right inside this area, you're going to glue that down. So now I'm going to start kind of working those little circles, which is going to end up being a circle. And actually, I'm going to bend that the other way and bend that the other way. So when those come together, they'll come together like this. But see, you got to kind of work them a little bit just to get them to start curving, because this is going to go like this. All right. So let's go ahead and peel the sticky off. And then I'm going to get some glue on there. Now this I'm going to put all around the outsides, making sure it's not going to seep and close any of the ends up, because then you won't be able to use your paper clip. So I'm just going to turn this towards me, and I'm going to put this right close to the edge, just so that it's not showing on the outside, but it's down everywhere on the inside. And I'm going to really, really tack that down. And yeah, we're just going to keep pushing that until that glue dries. And then at the same time, I'm going to make sure I'm not getting anything in there, because you want that paper clip to be able to grab. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this off. We're going to do some glue. And then we're going to put them together. And I'm not so much worried about the top right now as I am the bottom, but I am going to pinch that together. Again, I'm going to make sure I'm not getting glue in there. So I'm just going to use that little bit that I have. Get that really, really stuck down. And you might have to hold the top a little bit just to get that inner part. And then kind of pinch it up in there. And there you have it. And that will dry clear. I can see a little glue in there. My main focus is to make sure this does not get stuck. Okay, so then I didn't round the corners on the first one, but I liked that she had rounded them, so I am gonna go ahead and do that with this one before I put my layered paper on there. So I'm gonna round the corner. And then I'm making this an Alice one as well for when I do get a chance to do the 8x8. And I think I'm going to use this to line each side. So let's get this measured. This is like 1 1/2. So I'm going to do like 1 3/8, or I could do 1. I'm going to do 1 3/8 by 1 7/8. So I'm just going to get my scoreboard or my cutter. So 1 7/8 by 1 3/8, and I'm going to need 2 of them. So 1 3/8, or close enough. This I'm not going to get too persnickety about. It's going to be close enough. I'm almost going to do 1 3/8. I'm going to turn that over because it keeps curling up. So I'm going to do 1, and it would be a 16th, just behind that 1 3/8. I think I'm going to bring it back to that 16th mark. 1 3/8 to that 16th mark. Okay, I think that will be better. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and now you're going to need to know the direction. So don't just put these together and put your round your corner, because if you do, you're going to have the wrong side rounded. So basically I'm going to round this side, or you can put them together like this because they're going to go like this. And I'm going to just round those corners. That wasn't a very good round on that one. I'm going to do them separately. Okay. All right, I'm going to ink them up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my glue stick for this one, making sure I do that side first so I get the rounded edges where they're supposed to be. Or close enough. Close enough today. It's close enough. Okay, get that stuck down. Oh, a little off on the paper, but I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Now, of course, you could ink all the edges of everything if you wanted to, but I thought that was fine. I didn't think I need to go any further than that. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up my words. Where's my, oh, right where I left it. Right where I left it is usually where I find all my stuff, right where I left it. I just can't remember where I left it. Okay, I'm going to ink those up. And then, let's see, my pen's going to go this way. So I'm going to do memories. I'll put that there. And of course, you can decorate these any way you want. And I'll show you the bigger one when I get done. So I'm just going to put memories here. And then remember on the other side. And voila, we have another pen holder. Aren't these awesome? And then just kind of work that around a little bit and get your pen in there. And yeah, it just kind of helps the paper fold around the pen. So here you go. You have another pen holder for your journal. Oh, I did have it in there the right way. There we go. Yeah, how cool is that? I just love them. I think these just a smart idea because I always like to add a little pen with my composition books and stuff that I sell. So anyway, here is the other one, and this one I just embellished, put ripped paper and embellished it a little bit more and put a focal point, and then that will be good for like a vintage journal. So I hope you found that helpful, and go ahead and make yourself some pen holders. Bye everyone. Have a great day.